strategy to speed the development and the use of solar technologies. The Domestic Policy Review Task Force, representing 24 federal agencies, held a series of meetings nationwide, and more than 10,000 people participated. More than 3,000 testified. I'm Eddie Albert, and I'm going to introduce to you just a few of those people.
Many people have told us that this technology is impossible and still 50 years away. If someone tells you that, don't believe it.
The idea is to be as self-sufficient as possible and get away from the big systems that we can't control.
But there are enough people in it now who know what they're doing, who are building and installing quality products, and with the prospects of conventional fuel prices going up, the industry will make it.
Look, it will help all of us. It's part of our future.
The way we have to go for a lot of reasons. Not all of them are economic. Some of them have to do with the quality of our lives.
We're reaching our goals here in San Bernardino. It's not easy. It's not easy because I'm a woman and I'm black. But we have to do it.
There are a lot of exciting, creative solutions. It can be done.
That's quite a cast of characters for any film. You'll meet all of them and some others, and you'll discover that even though they may disagree on how to do it or when to do it, they all agree that it will be done. Now, what is this it that they're all talking about? Well, this it is important to me because nothing would grow in my greenhouse without it. It's the sun. And it's important to the people you'll meet here. A new breed of American pioneers who represent a sort of a new grassroots interest and awareness in this country that we can get a lot of energy from the sun in lots of different ways, and that the individuals, the tinkerers, the entrepreneurs can do it themselves. They talk a lot about what they're doing. We're going to hear what they have to say, but they also do a lot. And that's what this is really all about. This is an apartment community in Ventura, California, Ventura del Sol. It's heated by a hydronic system, hot water which is partially heated by solar energy. The man behind this system is Jim Piper.
This project is the largest residential solar system in the world. It consists of 254 units, 2 swimming pools, 2 recreation buildings, and 3 laundries. Interspersed amongst its 17 acres are 22 energy centers, like the one you see here in the background. Essentially, that's where the heat's put into the system, and the dwelling units and recreation buildings are where it's used or taken out of the system. Acceptance of the system in the building industry comes long and hard. The Department of Energy has done a study that says major changes in the building industry require 50 years. We're now into our 13th, and we've made some changes already. Here at our plant in Anaheim, you see the culmination of 13 years of development of the equipment used in our system. We manufacture nearly all of the components that are required to put the system together right here. As you can see, the manufacturing process is simple. If it wasn't simple, we wouldn't be able to do it. Essentially, that's because we've had no help from anyone. We've applied for grants and had those denied. We've applied for small business administration loans and had the same thing happen. So we've done it ourselves. We've created jobs. We have 8 young fellows working in the shop here who were unemployed before they came to work for us. I've been asked continuously since I first invented the system, will it work anywhere? Currently, the system is in operation in 15 U.S. states, Canada, Mexico, Switzerland, Iran, soon in Argentina and Australia. I think we've probably proven the fact that if it will work in Calgary, Canada at 40 below, it'll work anywhere.
Jim Piper is making a go of it in business terms. And here's a gentleman that knows all about that, too. He used to be on the building and selling side of solar systems. Now he's on the financial side as a vice president of San Diego Federal Savings and Loan Association. He's Peter Sardagna, and he knows some of the financial problems that folks face in starting up a new industry.
We at San Diego Federal, we pursue solar financing quite aggressively. We have developed one of the most innovative programs for financing single-family residence equipment. We're also promoting financing large tracts. As an example, we're financing for one developer some 500 homes, all of which will have domestic solar hot water heating. Most of these homes are solar heated to one extent or another. This one has solar domestic hot water heating. Others have total space heating systems in them. All of the systems are providing the amount of energy that they were designed for and are doing well. There are some problems, however, and they're mostly economic. Solar has a difficult time competing against conventional fuels that have received subsidies for years, or in the case of natural gas, that is artificially controlled and kept low. We look on the industry as just crossing the threshold of economic feasibility, and we think that these problems time will solve. The solution lies in the eventual raise of conventional fuels that will make solar competitive. The exciting part of solar today is that those systems that do work and those systems which are economically feasible result in something very beautiful for the homeowner. He can, at the end of the month, write a check measurably less than he did the month before the system was installed. That is exciting. That is news that will be spread word of mouth, and that's how the industry will get off the ground. Systems that work is the key.
And there are other people all over the country that believe the future is now. People who are doing things on their own.
There's a wide variety of people in our research group. We have mechanical engineers, electronics people, physicists, carpenters, shipwrights. We've had the barge for 4 years now, and slowly we've been developing the renewable energy systems that will make this independent of outside energy sources.
Bjorn Lundy lives in Seattle. He studied at the University of Washington and is now an architectural designer. His project is under development on a barge at anchor in Lake Washington.
We've chosen a mobile floating facility so that we can move around to different environmental conditions, and so also that we can demonstrate that no matter what locality you're in, there's appropriate energy or enough energy right there, right where you are, to put together your own independent energy systems. We're also very interested in this teaching aspect. We've gotten a research grant from the Seattle City Light now to develop a study program for grade school children, teaching them about renewable energy. They're going to be the energy users in 1990, so we want to get them started recognizing some of these issues. Here we've built a solar glass wall which will passively heat the deck house. We have to finish closing the deck house in first, so we're still in the process. And then eventually we'll have some water storage drums inside here to hold the heat for longer periods. So this will be a part of a passive heating system for the deck house. Here we've got our model of a solar distillation apparatus for distilling fresh water, drinking water, from any kind of water, brackish. We could even use the bilge water. And what's coming out the nozzle down here is distilled water, and the energy used is just solar energy. We're studying how much water we can get out of this model over what period of time with this kind of sunlight. This is our windmill. We've put this together from renewed recycled materials. It's state-of-the-art technology with recycled materials controlled by the microprocessor computer. That generates the electricity for our house lights, anchor lights, all the electrical systems on board. We're really excited about our big parabola. Here's Cliff Cox is doubling as a foil applicator. Normally he's one of our computer experts. Here we see an example of using low-cost materials, aluminum foil, less than 2 cents a square foot, to achieve a really highly reflective surface. That'll be focusing the sun's energies on the focal point, and that's where we'll put our Stirling engine. The Stirling engine then will produce electric power. It's the way we have to go for a lot of reasons. Not all of them are economic or scientific, or a lot of them have to do with the quality of our lives.
This is a vertical axis wind turbine. In other words, it's a windmill. It captures the wind and converts it into electricity. Gardner Green and the people of his company in Laconia, New Hampshire, built this one. And they're building others for a living, for profit.
This vertical axis wind turbine was developed by a Frenchman about 50 years ago by the name of Darius. It attracted little attention until the energy crunch.
Gar Green is a successful businessman who has now turned his abilities to a new opportunity in the solar industry.
The world in the future. This is a scale model of an old farm windmill, of which they sold hundreds of thousands all over the country, primarily used to pump water because it's primarily a slow-speed device. And it, as you can see, has a tail vane to keep it oriented into the wind, whereas our vertical axis wind turbines don't care which way the wind blows and therefore are non-directional. One of the many advantages of the Darius is that it can be easily stacked. This is a new solar conscious plant in Clearwater, Florida, and as you can see, triple stack Darius is providing 3 times as much power as a single stack unit would. We can actually stack many more than 3. This sketch shows 2 double stacks, each stack feeding its own alternator. And then where we have a prevailing wind, we can have power station array of stacked units. And there could be many, depending on the wind conditions. In the future, there certainly will be a large use of individual wind turbines in individual homes. At the present time, the equipment is a little too sophisticated, but as mass production is achieved and prices go down and equipment becomes more simplified, the many homes throughout America will be able to use the wind. Solar collectors and wind turbines go hand in hand. For when the sun doesn't shine, the wind usually blows.
The Energy Task Force is a private, non-profit group of architects, engineers, and educators who provide energy-related technical assistance to low-income people around New York City. We formed around the rehabilitation of this urban homesteading cooperative here at 519 East 11th Street.
Since the beginning of the industrial age, we have learned to rely more and more on technology. Ted Finch in New York City is trying to make technology work for the community on a human scale.
Realizing that long-term occupancy of the building is largely dependent upon reducing fuel bills, we showed the tenants how to properly weatherize the structure. Once this was accomplished, we showed them how to install a rooftop wind generator and solar hot water heating system to further reduce bills. As a harbor city, New York is fortunate enough to have some tremendous offshore breezes. We plan to utilize this natural resource with the installation of a wind energy conversion system. The wind generator will provide electricity to aerate these compost piles. The compost will be provided to community groups for vacant lot gardens. There's a vicious cycle at work here, but it can and has been broken through tenant ownership. What's exciting about what we're doing here on the Lower East Side with these solar technologies is that low-income people traditionally have not been on the cutting edge of developing new technologies. And with these installations such as 519 and at Quando, the low-income people have the opportunity to learn new skills in this developing solar economy. Quando is a neighborhood group of black and Hispanic youth who have built the first passive solar energy system here in New York City. This demonstration of passive solar energy is a wonderful example of appropriate technology in that youth from the neighborhood with almost no skills installed this system. It requires little to no maintenance, which is very important. From a purely energy point of view, it's much more energy efficient to rebuild the existing housing stock than to put up whole new structures.
They are pioneers, these people. There could be no more appropriate place for pioneers than here. The New Life Farm near Drury, Missouri, down in the Ozarks near the Arkansas border. Ted Landers is the driving force here. Educated in the East, he's lived in the big cities most of his life, until now. He and his family now live among the independent-minded folks of the Ozarks, and that suits Ted just fine.
My reason for New Life Farm is to try to bring low-cost technology to the people who really need it. If we're successful at bringing technology that works to these people here and that actually increases their standard of living for not very much money, then for sure it's going to apply in a more affluent farming community. This is our hydraulic ram. It's a pump that pumps water using no external sources of energy. There's no electricity that runs to this, no natural gas. The only thing that drives it is a spring that's up the hollow about 230 feet, and is 12 feet higher than this ram. The 12-foot head that drives the ram pumps the water 150 feet all the way up to the top of the hill where the digester is. So it supplies all the water that the digester needs, all the water that the garden needs, all the water that the vineyard and the orchard needs, and all the water that the house needs. It'll pump somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000 gallons per day, depending on the flow rate of the spring. It really epitomizes the whole concept of appropriate technology. In the Ozarks and at New Life Farm, dual utilization of the land can be achieved by using hay for the biomass fuel crop and any number of different trees for the feed crop. The beauty of biomass is that it's a great way to store solar energy. In the New Life Farm digester laboratory, we take water, we take the hay, we could add manure or soybean vines, corn stalks, any other kind of agricultural waste products, and put it in these tanks. Out of the tanks comes methane gas, which is a very clean burning fuel, which everybody knows affectionately as natural gas. Half the homes in the United States are heated with natural gas. Not only can we heat homes with it, but we can run gas refrigerators, gas hot water heaters, gas stoves, and we can even convert diesel generators to make electricity off of methane gas. The utilities currently have one big problem, and that is supplying peak demand. In the summertime at 4 o'clock, when everybody's got their air conditioners turned on, the utilities have to have all of their generators running in order to meet that demand. If many, many farmers had digesters that they could store up their gas through a 24-hour period, and then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or whenever the utility wants it, they could turn on their generators and supply electricity into the grid, it would solve one of the utility's most pressing problems. This facility here has allowed us to comparatively test 35 different configurations of absorber plates. We've used common materials, something anybody can get a hold of, such as beverage cans, plaster lath, aluminum roofing, etc. From our research, we've developed a low-cost, inexpensive collector and system. It costs around $3 per square foot for the materials. We've had 5 workshops this last year teaching people in their communities how to build these. The workshops have been very successful. Somebody always ends up with a collector built on the house, and the rest of the people that come to the workshop go away with the knowledge of how to build it. We're trying to teach people how to take control of their lives.
Pioneers in pioneer country. Independence is what the New Life Farm is all about. But pioneer country is everywhere, and the frontiers of this expanding horizon of biosolar energy can be found lots of places in this country. Rudy Gunnerman chose Eugene, Oregon, because that's where he found millions of tons of waste materials that he believed could be put to use as a viable alternative energy source.
What you're looking at here is called Wood-X. It's a man-made fuel which is made from fibrous waste. That means anything that grows in nature, which the sun helps to grow, can be converted into a high-potency fuel, such as you see here in my hand. This is a renewable source of energy, and each ton of this product produced can replace 3 barrels of oil, or we generate the same BTU output per each ton of product or 3 barrels of oil would generate. Except it is not just renewable, it's also cleaner than oil because there's no sulfur in this product. We take fiber waste as it comes either from the forest or from sawmills or from the fields. We disintegrate it into powder or into powder form. Then we take the free water off, bring it down in a rotating drum dryer or any type of dryer to a moisture consistency of approximately 20%. Then we are taking it to a pelletizing process. It is a high temperature process where the temperature is being generated through compression and moisture. In this process, we then separate the lignits and waxes, which are within a fiber product, using those as binders, and have the cellulose structure within this product free for combustion. In our own manufacture, we use about 10% of the BTUs produced in our own process. The waste in the United States are tremendously large. We have in excess of 1.5 billion tons of waste available. That does not mean that we can all use it, but if we could use the total waste, or close to the total waste, it would be enough energy to produce 20 quarts of new energy, or it would be actually more energy than we are today importing in oils.
All across the land, these American innovators are joined by their industrial counterparts, large and small, who are producing a wide variety of solar and other renewable energy equipment for the mass market. These combined efforts will have a major economic impact on the entire industry, indeed on the entire country. Yes, this pioneering spirit is found everywhere and in all kinds of places. An abandoned laundromat in San Bernardino, east of Los Angeles, is being used as a very special sort of shop, a place where they're building solar energy systems. One of the positive byproducts of any new industry is that new jobs are created. So it is with the Community Development Corporation, and the person behind this unusual project is Valerie Pope.
Here in San Bernardino, California, we're installing solar skylight water heaters. We're installing them on public housing for low-income people. The housing is owned by the county of San Bernardino. We also install same kind of solar hot water heaters on houses owned by the handicapped and other low-income heads of households. We see the solar industry as a new technology. It's an opportunity for the people here at CDC and people like us throughout the country, small backyard inventors, small businessmen, to take a chance at the all-American dream. It's an opportunity for us to invent solar systems that are unique and appropriate to the areas where we work. Developing, designing, and manufacturing, installing, and maintenance of solar systems are fairly simple. We have people in our organization that have some engineering background, but basically we're lay people. And if we can do it, most anyone can. Now we manufacture all of the components for our solar systems that we install throughout the city and county of San Bernardino. We not only manufacture the skylight solar hot water heaters, but we manufacture the flat plate collectors, which we sell to other solar programs. We attempt to give the people in training here a wide variety of skills in the energy-related fields. In our first solar project, we provided heat and hot water for 10 houses. We found that we had an excess amount of energy, and we decided to build greenhouses. We chose the hydroponic greenhouse for the first one in order to provide our trainees with an exposure to a new technology such as hydroponics. These are some of the plants that we grow here.
We did promise you an interesting cast, remember? They're interesting because they're doing something important, something you could be doing in the days ahead, because our government will be encouraging communities to expand solar energy programs. We can join the pioneers who are already learning to use wind or hydroelectric or biomass or the direct rays of the sun as another source of energy. The Secretary of Energy has said that there will be a great adventure for this country as we move into the next century and as we turn increasingly to renewable sources of energy as a replacement for fossil fuels. At the end of that great adventure, solar energy will take its place as a vital and long-term energy source. These small-scale, decentralized technologies have to be combined with energy conservation. If we can be more efficient, we won't have to produce as much energy, thereby helping the environment, reducing our dependence on foreign sources, and making our society far less vulnerable to natural or man-caused disasters. Decentralized energy technology is, by its very nature, community-based. Contact the people in your community who are pioneering this great adventure.
Safeguarding America's power grid, sustainable energy's role in enhancing resilience. Extreme temperature events, both scorching heat waves and biting cold waves, are posing an increasing threat to the reliability of our nation's power grids. These widespread weather extremes constrain energy systems by driving up demand for heating and cooling, while simultaneously impacting the generation and transmission of electricity. In recent years, every region of the United States has experienced power outages during such events, disrupting access to electricity at critical times when it is vital for health, well-being, and essential services. A recent study by researchers at Washington State University and collaborators has shed light on the potential for sustainable energy sources, particularly solar and wind power, to help mitigate the strain on power grids during widespread temperature extremes. The study, which analyzed data across the 6 interconnected energy grid regions of the U.S. from 1980 to 2023, revealed that conditions accompanying these extremes often provide greater opportunities to capture solar and wind energy. Understanding temperature extremes and power grid strain. Temperature extremes, both hot and cold, can place immense strain on power grids by driving up energy demand for heating and cooling, while also impacting the generation and transmission of electricity. During these events, the researchers found that energy demand surged substantially as more households and businesses turned on heaters or air conditioners. Alarmingly, recent widespread extremes in nearly every region have coincided with power outages, accounting for a significant portion of all weather-related outages in the past decade. The sustainable energy opportunity. Amidst the challenges posed by temperature extremes, the study uncovered a remarkable opportunity. Conditions accompanying these events often provide greater opportunities to capture solar and wind energy. Solar energy potential. The researchers discovered that solar energy potential is significantly higher during widespread hot extremes in all 6 U.S. regions and during widespread cold extremes in 5 of the 6 regions. This increased potential is attributed to the atmospheric conditions that typically accompany these events, such as clear skies and higher solar radiation during heat waves, and less cloud cover during cold air outbreaks. Wind energy potential. While the response of wind energy potential varied across regions, the study found that at least 3 regions experienced significantly higher wind potential during widespread hot or cold extremes. Notably, the regions that could benefit most from increased wind generation capacity during hot events are the Texas grid and a major Midwestern grid. Enhancing grid resilience and sustainability. The findings of this study suggest that increasing the deployment of solar and wind energy systems could not only help offset the increased power demand during widespread temperature extremes but also reduce the risk of outages, thereby improving the resilience and reliability of our energy systems. By leveraging the enhanced sustainable energy potential during these events, communities can become more self-reliant and less dependent on centralized power generation, while advancing energy equity and access. Furthermore, the transition to renewable energy sources offers additional benefits beyond bolstering grid resilience, such as reducing air pollution associated with burning fossil fuels. That would benefit both the public health and the environment. Addressing challenges and embracing change. While the integration of renewable energy sources presents opportunities, it also brings challenges that must be addressed. These challenges include the intermittent nature of solar and wind power, the need for energy storage solutions, and the necessity for upgrades to transmission and distribution infrastructure. Overcoming these challenges requires a collaborative effort among policymakers, industry leaders, researchers, and communities. Investing in research and development to improve energy storage technologies, modernizing grid infrastructure, and implementing smart grid technologies are all crucial steps in this transition. Furthermore, public awareness and education play a vital role in fostering support for renewable energy initiatives and promoting energy conservation practices. By engaging the public and cultivating a deeper understanding of the benefits of a sustainable energy future, we can accelerate the use of renewable energy sources and ensure a resilient and reliable power grid for generations to come. As the impacts of climate change intensify, safeguarding America's power grid has become a national imperative. The findings of this study highlight the potential of sustainable energy sources, particularly solar and wind power, to not only bolster grid resilience during widespread temperature extremes but also contribute to a more sustainable and equitable energy future. By accessing the enhanced solar and wind energy potential during these events, we can reduce the strain on our energy systems, mitigating the risk of power outages. This will promote energy independence for communities across the nation. However, realizing this potential requires a concerted effort from lawmakers, industry leaders, researchers, and the tech sector. Through strategic investments in sustainable energy technologies, modernization of grid infrastructure, and public education and engagement, we can pave the way for a more resilient energy landscape. The time to act is now, securing a brighter, more reliable, and more sustainable future for America's power grid and the communities it serves. While technological breakthroughs in photovoltaic panels and battery systems capture the limelight, the unsung heroes of this revolution are the diverse array of materials that form the backbone of these innovations. Savvy investors are turning their attention to these critical components, recognizing their potential for substantial growth and profitability. The solar panel supply chain. Aluminum's enduring strength is at the heart of solar installation lies a sturdy aluminum frame, supporting the weight of the solar panels and withstanding the elements. Aluminum's lightweight yet robust nature, coupled with its resistance to corrosion, makes it an ideal choice for solar racking systems. As the demand for solar energy continues to soar, the need for aluminum in the industry is expected to surge, presenting a lucrative opportunity for investors eyeing this versatile metal. Silicon. The semiconductor superstar silicon is the second most abundant element on Earth. It is the cornerstone of the photovoltaic cells that convert sunlight into electricity. While the public may associate silicon primarily with computer chips, its applications in solar technology are equally crucial. As solar panel manufacturers strive to enhance efficiency and reduce costs, the demand for high-quality silicon is poised to skyrocket, making investments in silicon mining and processing a very attractive prospect. Rare earth elements. Catalysts for clean energy beyond the well-known materials, the solar and energy storage industries rely heavily on a group of elements collectively known as rare earth metals. These include neodymium, dysprosium, and praseodymium, which are essential components in the permanent magnets found in wind turbines and electric vehicle motors. Additionally, lanthanum and cerium play a vital role in the production of energy-efficient LED lighting and catalytic converters. While their extraction and processing can be challenging, investing in companies specializing in rare earth elements could yield substantial returns as the world transitions towards cleaner technologies. The versatility of plastics. supporting solar infrastructures while metals and semiconductors take center stage in solar panel construction. Plastics play an equally vital role in supporting the entire solar infrastructure. Polyvinyl chloride, PVC, and cross-linked polyethylene, PEX, are widely used in the intricate network of piping and conduits that transport coolants and electrical wiring throughout solar installations. Meanwhile, polycarbonate and acrylic sheets provide durable, transparent coverings for solar modules, shielding them from environmental hazards while allowing optimal light transmission. As the solar industry expands, the demand for high-performance plastics tailored to withstand harsh outdoor conditions is poised to surge, presenting lucrative opportunities for investors in this versatile material sector. Wiring the future. Copper's conductive prowess, seamlessly transmitting the electricity generated by solar panels, is a critical aspect of any solar installation, and copper remains the preeminent material for this task. Its exceptional electrical conductivity, coupled with its resistance to corrosion and thermal resilience, makes it an indispensable component in solar power systems. From the intricate wiring within individual panels to the large-scale transmission lines that connect solar farms to the grid, copper is the essential conduit that powers our transition to renewable energy. As the solar industry continues to expand, the demand for high-quality copper wiring is expected to soar, presenting compelling investment prospects in copper mining, refining, and manufacturing operations. Glass and protective coverings. While solar panels harness the power of the sun, they also face the challenges of exposure to the elements. This is where glass and protective coverings play a crucial role, safeguarding the delicate photovoltaic cells from environmental hazards such as wind, rain, hail, and extreme temperatures. Tempered glass, with its exceptional strength and durability, is a popular choice for the front panels of solar modules, providing a transparent barrier while allowing maximum light transmission. Additionally, specialized coatings and films are applied to these glass surfaces to enhance their protective properties, ensuring optimal solar panel performance. Investments in the glass manufacturing and coating industries could prove to be integral, as the demand for high-quality protective coverings for solar installations continues to rise. Energy storage. The battery material revolution continues as solar and wind power become more prevalent. The need for efficient energy storage solutions has never been greater. Lithium-ion batteries have emerged as the frontrunners in this arena, with lithium, cobalt, nickel, and graphite serving as the primary components. However, the industry is constantly evolving, with researchers exploring alternative materials, such as sodium, sulfur, and vanadium for next-generation batteries. Investors with a keen eye on these emerging technologies could potentially capitalize on the ever-growing demand for energy storage solutions. Recycling and sustainability. Closing the loop. As the solar and energy storage industries continue to thrive, the need for responsible waste management and recycling practices becomes increasingly paramount. Solar panels, batteries, and other components contain valuable materials that can be recovered and repurposed, reducing the environmental impact of these technologies and promoting a circular economy. Companies specializing in the recycling of solar panel materials, such as silicon, aluminum, and glass, present attractive investment opportunities as the global emphasis on sustainability intensifies. Similarly, the development of efficient battery recycling processes could unlock a treasure trove of valuable materials, including lithium, cobalt, and nickel, while mitigating the environmental consequences of improper disposal. Ethical and environmental considerations. While the materials powering the solar and energy storage industries offer promising investment opportunities, it is crucial to consider the ethical and environmental implications of their extraction and production processes. Many of these materials are sourced from regions plagued by human rights concerns, conflict, and environmental degradation. Responsible investors may seek out companies committed to sustainable and ethical practices, employing rigorous due diligence and prioritizing transparency in their supply chains, while embracing innovation and sustainability as the world continues its march towards a more sustainable future. The solar energy and energy storage industries will undoubtedly play a pivotal role. By understanding the diverse array of materials that underpin these technologies, investors can position themselves at the forefront of this revolution, capitalizing on the growing demand for clean energy solutions while contributing to a greener planet. Whether it's aluminum, silicon, rare earth elements, plastics, copper, glass, or the components of cutting-edge battery technologies, the opportunities for savvy investors are vast and varied. However, success in this arena will require a careful balance of financial acumen, technological expertise, and a commitment to ethical and environmentally responsible practices. As the sun rises on a new era of sustainable energy, those who embrace innovation may find themselves well positioned to reap the rewards of this transformative journey, illuminating the path towards a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow. As the United States confronts the pressing challenges of climate change, energy insecurity, and finite fossil fuel resources, the widespread adaptation of solar power has emerged as a socio-economic necessity with profound implications for citizens across the nation. From small-scale residential applications to large-scale installations and investments, embracing solar energy offers a multitude of benefits that span environmental sustainability, cost savings, job creation, and long-term energy independence. The solar industry in the U.S. has experienced remarkable growth in recent years, driven by declining costs, technological innovations, and supportive government policies. The rapid expansion has not only contributed to mitigating climate change but has also generated significant economic opportunities. A figure has projected jobs, careers to reach 400,000 by 2030, according to the National Solar Jobs Census. Moreover, the industry attracted $33 billion in private investment, further fueling its growth and contributing to the overall economic prosperity of the nation. One of the most accessible ways for American households to incorporate solar power into their lives is through the use of small solar-powered appliances and devices. Solar-powered outdoor lighting, outdoor security cameras, chargers for portable electronics, and other small-scale applications offer convenient and cost-effective solutions for reducing energy bills and fostering a more sustainable lifestyle. For those seeking a more integrated solar solution, residential solar panel installations provide numerous long-term benefits. By generating their own clean electricity, homeowners can significantly reduce or even eliminate their dependence on traditional utility companies, insulating themselves from fluctuations in energy prices and contributing to energy independence. The initial investment in a solar panel system is often offset by decreased or eliminated electricity bills over the system's lifespan, as well as various federal and state incentives, such as tax credits and rebates. These financial advantages, coupled with the environmental benefits of reducing a household's carbon footprint, make residential solar installations an attractive and socially responsible choice. As the demand for renewable energy continues to rise, investing in solar energy companies and projects presents compelling opportunities for both financial returns and contributing to a sustainable future. Investors can consider purchasing stocks or bonds issued by solar manufacturers, developers, or installers. Or they can participate in crowdfunding campaigns for specific solar projects. Additionally, some utility companies and investment firms offer specialized solar energy funds or portfolios, providing a diversified approach to investing in this rapidly expanding sector. By investing in solar energy, individuals and institutions can not only potentially benefit from the long-term growth and profitability of the industry but also play an active role in accelerating the initiative towards a more sustainable energy landscape. The surging demand for solar power has created a wealth of educational and career opportunities in the field. Educational institutions are responding by offering specialized programs and degrees in solar technology, engineering, and installation, equipping students with the skills needed to thrive in this innovative and rapidly growing industry. Careers in the solar sector range from solar panel installers and system designers to sales representatives and engineers specializing in solar technology development. These professions not only offer financial stability but also the opportunity to contribute in the advancement of cleaner energy solutions and shape a more sustainable future. Moreover, continuing education and professional development programs are available for those seeking to transition or expand their expertise into the solar energy sector, ensuring a skilled and adaptable workforce to meet the industry's evolving needs. The future outlook for solar power in the United States is exceptionally promising, with the U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA, projecting that solar will account for nearly half of all new utility-scale electric generating capacity additions between 2023 and 2050. This remarkable growth is driven by continued cost reductions, supportive policies, and increasing consumer demand for clean energy solutions. Recognizing the strategic importance of solar energy, the U.S. government has implemented various policies and initiatives to support its growth. The Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, of 2023 provides unprecedented incentives for renewable energy projects, including a long-term extension of the investment tax credit, ITC, for solar installations, and billions of dollars in funding for domestic manufacturing of solar components, Energy Department programs, and clean energy initiatives. Additionally, many state and local governments have implemented their own solar incentive programs, such as net metering policies, renewable portfolio standards, and tax credits, further driving solar adoption across the country and fostering a thriving renewable energy market. The widespread adaptation of solar power is not merely a passing trend but a generation-defining event that will shape the future of energy production and consumption in America and globally. As concerns over climate change, energy security, and fossil fuel dependence intensify, the imperative for clean and sustainable energy sources like solar becomes increasingly paramount. Beyond the environmental benefits, the transition to solar power offers a pathway to true energy independence, insulating American households and businesses from the volatility of fossil fuel prices and geopolitical tensions. Additionally, the solar industry presents a wealth of employment opportunities, fostering economic growth and job creation in various sectors, including manufacturing, installation, engineering, and research and development. Moreover, the increasing affordability of solar technology, coupled with innovative financing models like solar leasing and power purchase agreements, PPAs, has made solar installations more accessible to a broader range of consumers. As the costs of traditional energy sources continue to rise, the economic case for solar power becomes even more compelling for every American citizen. The socio-economic imperative for universal solar adaptation in America is clear and compelling. The rapid growth of the solar industry, driven by declining costs, technological advancements, and supportive government policies, has positioned solar power as a vital component of the nation's energy future, offering a path toward environmental sustainability, energy independence, and economic prosperity. By embracing solar energy at all levels, from small-scale residential applications to large-scale installations and investments, American citizens and businesses can not only contribute to mitigating climate change and reducing their carbon footprint, but also reap the economic benefits of long-term cost savings, job creation, and increased energy security. As the world enters an age of more sustainable and resilient energy, the United States has an opportunity to lead the way in the solar revolution. By capitalizing on the abundant solar resources available across the nation, fostering continued innovation and investment in this sector, and equipping its workforce with the necessary skills and knowledge, America can secure its position as a global leader in renewable energy while ensuring a prosperous and sustainable future for generations to come. In our world today, we are faced with the critical challenge of climate change and an urgent need for clean, renewable energy sources. However, a powerful solution is emerging as quantum science intersects with solar energy technology. This convergence promises to unleash a new era where we can fully embrace the boundless energy of the sun with unprecedented efficiency. At the heart of photovoltaic technology lies an intricate interplay between light and matter, governed by the fundamental principles of quantum mechanics and electrodynamics. Photons, the fundamental particles of light, initiate a cascade of processes within solar cell materials, leading to the formation of excitons, quasi-particles that represent an excited state of the system. These excitons, once dissociated, liberate free charge carriers, generating an electrical current that powers our devices and homes. Through a multidisciplinary approach combining cutting-edge experimental techniques, advanced computational simulations, and innovative material engineering, researchers are unraveling the mysteries of exciton dynamics and charge carrier transport. This profound understanding, rooted in quantum electrodynamics, has paved the way for the development of highly efficient solar cells capable of capturing a broader spectrum of the sun's energy, maximizing the conversion of light into electricity. While solar energy holds immense promise, its intermittent nature and dependence on environmental conditions necessitate the integration of complementary energy sources and storage solutions to create a resilient and reliable power grid. This has led to the development of hybrid energy systems that seamlessly combine solar power with other renewable resources, such as wind, hydroelectric, geothermal, and advanced battery technologies. By leveraging the strengths of each individual component, these hybrid systems can provide a continuous and stable supply of electricity, mitigating the inherent variability of solar energy. The integration of quantum solar insights is driving a wave of sustainable solutions across vital frontiers. In regions affected by drought, advanced solar-powered desalination systems are providing clean drinking water, mitigating the global water scarcity crisis. Electrolysis chambers, powered by highly efficient photovoltaic systems, are splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen, enabling the generation of clean, renewable hydrogen fuel for a wide range of applications. Moreover, industrial plants are transitioning towards sustainable practices, utilizing solar-driven manufacturing processes and solar thermal systems, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and mitigating the carbon footprint of various sectors. Additionally, researchers are exploring ways to utilize solar-derived energy to power carbon capture processes, allowing the captured carbon dioxide to be converted into value-added products, such as fuels, chemicals, or building materials, effectively promoting a circular economy. This transition towards a sustainable energy future driven by quantum solar insights extends beyond mere technological advancements. It necessitates a holistic approach that encompasses environmental stewardship, economic viability, and societal engagement. By embracing a circular economy model, where materials are responsibly sourced, utilized, and recycled, we can minimize the environmental impact of these systems throughout their life cycle. Furthermore, fostering public awareness and active community participation is crucial to ensuring the successful deployment and acceptance of these innovative solutions. In conclusion, the convergence of quantum-level solar energy research and the development of innovative sustainable solutions represents a transformative opportunity to shape a responsible and resilient future. By applying the profound insights gleaned from the investigation of exciton dynamics and electrodynamics, and seamlessly integrating solar power with complementary technologies and hybrid systems, we can create robust and efficient systems that address pressing global challenges, from water scarcity to energy security and environmental preservation.
A nonprofit organization devoted to harvesting nature's intelligence in its research and demonstration of sustainable human settlement. Sustainable Settings is supported by volunteering, the sale of our organic farm products, and your tax-deductible donation. Call 970-963-6107 and visit us on the web at www.sustainablesettings.org.
On the way down here, we talked about creating order in things, or encouraging. Co-creating, I think, is a better way to put it. A sense of order as it has to do with rain and moisture, and I found that fascinating, and I'd love to share that with the viewers.
Well, you look at what happens in nature. Now, I live about 2 hours from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia has a historical record that it is 20% more likely to rain on Saturday or Sunday or both than to rain on any of the weekdays. But any of the weekdays, people are out on the highways going to work or coming home from work right at the sunrise sunset rhythm of the day.
Inhale, exhale.
Well, they're exhaling petroleum,
Carbon.
yeah, oily stuff.
Yeah.
And that's going off in a cloud, and this is chaos, you know, molecular motion at random. But it's going off in a cloud above the highways that ring Atlanta and feed Atlanta.
Okay.
And that happens in the morning, and it happens again in the evening.
Okay, so there's 5 days of that in the commute.
Yeah, and then on your barbecue, it's liable to rain.
Okay, on the weekends. And so where are you going with that?
Well, we're capable enough of stopping the rain. We can keep it from raining. We're doing a pretty good job of that.
So we're doing by the weekly inputs and the driving. You're saying we're holding rain back, or somehow.
Well, we're turning the particulate matter in the atmosphere. We're coating it with oily substances.
Emissions.
Yeah, emissions.
Okay, and so on the weekend, what happens?
There's not as much of that at all. There's sort of a breath of fresh air.
So it builds up in a way during the week, is what you're getting at.
Right, right. I mean, the Weather Service explained this in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, that this was because the particulate matter in the atmosphere built up through the week. Now, in a sense, this is correct. It did build up through the week. But then it would rain on Saturday and Sunday.
Why?
Why Saturday and Sunday, see?
Yeah.
So they were saying that it rained on Saturday and Sunday because it had built up too much during the week. But how come it didn't rain on Fridays or Thursdays?
And reached some kind of threshold where it broke.
Yeah,
Okay.
you might have thought it might do a little bit more of that.
Okay, so.
But the observation, like, I'm not talking about weather prediction. This is weather observation, which is a pretty exact science.
Okay. So what's happening?
Well, we're actually creating, and you can see it. You can come into Atlanta.
Like the inversion layers, that thing?
You can see this sort of dome of haze, and this is a common phenomenon around a lot of cities.
Yeah.
And in those kinds of hazy conditions like that, you don't get cloud formation. If you were a buzzard, you'd steer clear of there.
Okay, wait now. So it's disorganization.
Oh, sure enough.
Right?
Yeah.
It's chaos.
That's right. It's chaos.
Right?
Yeah, you're creating chaos
And for it to
in
rain,
that pollution.
For it to rain, it takes organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, I mean, what is the raindrop? It has coalesced, and the moisture in the atmosphere has built it up, and it hits the earth. In other words, the moisture in the atmosphere is organized. The rain process is a process of organizing moisture in the atmosphere.
Okay. All right, now, let's take that and imagine that, you know, we haven't had rain for a month out here, right? We're high and dry.
Okay.
Here in the Rockies, and so, you know, 17 to 20 inches of rain is our annual precipitation if you take it across the year. So let's just say it's been 30, 40, 60 days, and maybe we want to encourage, if we could, for it to rain. Is there a way to do that?
Oh, sure.
Help us out. Help us out.
Well, it helps to see what's going on.
Okay.
So observation, really, that's the basis of intelligence.
Okay.
So
make it rain, Hugh.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying you got to see what's going on if you're going to do this.
All right.
You know, because really, if you work with nature, then things work. You know, because nature does the work.
Yeah.
If you work counter to nature, then it's expensive.
Well, as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really costly.
So we mine nature and abuse it to try to correct our disconnection,
We
basically.
sure have a curious way to treat nature.
Yeah.
All
right, let's make it rain. Help us go
Okay,
there.
well, okay. In your little spot on Earth, like within the boundaries of your property,
yeah,
you have got an entitlement to affect that area the way you want.
My eye, you mean? Is that my responsibility?
Yeah. You can go out there and spray it with poisons.
Well, that's
that's
legal.
That's legal, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's legal. You could do that if you wanted. Not that you particularly might want to.
No.
Seems like a pretty crazy thing to do.
Pretty normal, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know, man. These salesmen, they could...
Let's not go there. So let's work on our will or our responsibility on a place and go from there.
Okay, so you can deal with your area. Now, if you identify its boundaries, you can go to Google Earth and take a picture of it, satellite picture, and draw your boundaries all the way around your property. And you've got a map with the boundaries of your property drawn on it. And you've got a legal right to do what you want to do within that property. So if you want to sprinkle it with pixie dust, it's your right to do that.
That's right.
So
you might get a few looks from the neighbors, but who cares?
Well,
the county or the state or the feds aren't going to bother you with pixie dust.
No, they're not going to bother your neighbor if he sprays this god-awful chemical, whatever it is, without taking regard to his own self-protection.
Yeah. We call that...
if he does it without a spacesuit on, then he shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. We call that chemical trespass.
Well, he's trespassing himself if he doesn't wear a spacesuit to do it.
All right. So so we've got the land, we've got the plat. We've identified it on Google Earth.
Yeah.
And we want it to rain. We need moisture of some kind. It could be dew or it could be something else, but we need to break this drought.
Well, this is the thing. Everything you do needs to be consistent with that aim.
Okay.
So it wouldn't matter, whether where you graze your cows influences things. Your land management makes a big difference in the health and vitality of your farm. And it becomes real noticeable when you start to take notice of it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll change the way you go about it. See, with these preparations, you can really have an influence on what's working on your farm. And two of the biggest things are silicon and nitrogen. They're like opposites of each other. See, carbon and silicon are nonpolar, and nitrogen is, well, it's the first anion in the periodic table, and it is extremely sensitive.
So when there's moisture in the atmosphere, but it isn't raining, is that order or disorder, or what is that? It's just a different order?
Well, okay, the moisture in the atmosphere, if it were organized, it would make puffy clouds, and the stronger the organization would be based on the strength of the boundaries of the clouds. So when you see clouds that have got very, like, definite boundaries.
Like nimbus.
Well, I suppose the biggest ones are your cumulus clouds.
Cumulus.
And they can be columns. And the
So
organization
they're really coming, they're creating intense order.
in intensity, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So intense that the water will crystallize inside of them. And then you might have a hailstorm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that sort of cloud is really sucking. And it's so powerful you don't want to go anywhere near it in an airplane. Certainly not in a light plane.
No, I flew with my dad, and we
we
navigated around those.
You bet.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you're not really aiming at the organization becoming so violent as that you get a hailstorm.
Okay.
If the organization doesn't have to struggle so much to become concentrated, as it will become concentrated, but if you've got a lot of scattered clouds that are raining throughout the day, then it's a different kind of rainfall.
So, on our places, can we somehow influence the order that we're talking about to actually encourage rain and or dew or moisture?
Well, you want to connect in with what's happening in nature. And the truth of the matter is, you don't know a fraction of it hardly.
No. Correct. I know nothing every day I wake up.
Well, it's it's helpful to know that you don't know.
Yeah.
That's a big start.
Good humble point to start the day with.
Yeah. But basically, what I do as a general practice is I frame this in the intent that goes like this: if it be thy will, let the powers of nature converge to increase and enhance beneficial energies and to transform any detrimental energies into beneficial ones within the boundaries as marked, for now and in the future, for as long as is appropriate, because that gives you fourth dimensional boundaries. And in deep gratitude, because nature responds to gratitude as a feeling.
Acknowledgement and
yeah,
gratitude.
It's like nature then is in love with you and responds to that vibration, you might say.
When I try to explain what we're doing, I ask people if they've ever been in love and shared between another person that intense exchange. And then once they grasp that and acknowledge that, yes, I've been in love, I say, well, when you direct that to another person, that's a powerful thing. But when you direct that to plants or animals or to your place or to the air even or whatever, it matters. It has an effect. That too spooky?
No, that's dead on.
Okay.
And I reckon that's what we mean in quantum physics, that you find what you look for. It's just a fact that what you are looking for
you find
is what you're going to find.
Okay.
And that translates in a farmer's world into manage for what you want. Don't try to manage what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you find yourself focusing your attention on those things that you don't want, then you're having what you don't want.
So let's get back to
So you've
drought.
got to figure out what it's going to take to focus your attention on what you want.
Okay, so let's go there for drought.
Yeah, so if you're thinking drought, think of the bigger picture around you, because that informs your personal picture.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things that in a drought that's like a general drought in your area, there's a lot of things going on. You're only one part of that picture.
Okay.
But if you, by the things that you do in managing your property, for instance, letting your hayfield go to seed, because that's the natural time to make the best seed if you have got enough fertility in the soil to feed that, then you'll make the best seed in a dry year. Because the seed is like the recrystallization of the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And that proceeds the best under those warmth and light conditions.
So all of those stewardship practices are the foundation of making or encouraging order. That's where you're going?
Yeah, but you know you're looking for rain.
Okay.
But you don't know how much rain is really beneficial for you.
Okay.
And how much you might be turning your back on opportunity as well. So it's like you don't want to be attached. You want to have a sense of humor about this.
Okay.
You know? That sense of humor is enormously important, because then you're managing for what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a drought, you manage for the drought. And if your place is a little bit more organized than the ones around it, then it will be the nucleus of breaking the drought. Because it's the seed of the new pattern, which is not a drought. So you do those things during that drought, that would be the best practices for drought.
Mm-hmm. You spoke of the preparations, but also the rhythms of when to apply them, and also the lunar or monthly rhythms that you would tie together to time your application to encourage the creation of the order. And go there.
Yeah, well, I had traveled up from the southeast Queensland area, north of Brisbane. I had traveled up into the far north on the Atherton Tablelands and along the coast in Tully and Innisfail and whatnot. And I'd been gone for a couple of months. And when I came back, Graham Sate, who had a farm there in Kenilworth in his area, he was in the middle of a drought. And he said, "Hugh Lovell," he said, "didn't you say you knew how to make rain?" And he said, he explained to me that the condition they were in the drought. And I took my pendulum out of my pocket and I asked, how long will it take to break the drought? And the answer I got was that the drought wouldn't break for another 2 weeks until full moon. That nothing I could do would get it to break in that period of time.
Oh.
But I could get it to rain right after that, right at the full moon, then I could set it up to rain, which is what I did. And it rained. The drought broke with that. And I did a procedure using a map of his place with the boundaries drawn on it and using radionic gear to transfer the pattern, because the map is a sort of a holographic connection with the actual property.
Mm-hmm.
And so with quantum entanglement, then the property is entangled with the map. So if I'm projecting a pattern of energy on that map, and that pattern of energy was the horn manure or the horn silica or both, or even including the horn clay, that I could broadcast all of those patterns